Hi everyone, this is Starla Smith with Stellar Accounting Solutions. In today's video, I'm going to cover some tips on working with bank fee transactions in QuickBooks Online. Now you will notice that I have the QuickBooks Online test drive file open, which is a sample company file that you can use to learn QuickBooks Online or to test transactions before adding them to your live company file. In our video, we assume that you have already linked your bank accounts to QuickBooks Online, so we will not be covering the setup process. We will only be covering tips for working with transactions brought in by the bank feed. So let's get started. To get to your bank feed transactions, you click on Transactions, Banking. And we can see from the screen that opens up that there are 3 accounts which have bank feed links. There's a MasterCard, a checking account, and a savings account. And for our demo, we're going to be working in the checking account. So we click back on that account, it turns blue at the top, and then below we have all of the transactions that are waiting to be actioned by us from the bank feed. So let me clear up first some confusion that often happens with bank feeds. Users sometimes think that once they click this update button and they've brought in their bank feed, that is all they need to do, that their transactions are in QuickBooks. But that really is not the case. This bank feed is kind of a holding spot for bank feed transactions, awaiting your action to tell QuickBooks what to do with them. You can tell QuickBooks to match it up to an existing transaction. You can set up bank rules that tell QuickBooks how to auto-add the information or auto book a transaction, or you can add transactions as they occur individually. So we see what we have here today is 14 transactions which QuickBooks has matched for us. Now these matches are generally correct, but especially if you're new to using QuickBooks, you might want to look these over before just accepting them all into QuickBooks as a match, because QuickBooks will sometimes incorrectly match something if you have 2 transactions for the same amount. So it's always worth taking a look at this before just wholesale accepting the matches. But if you were ready to accept these and all of them are correct, you can always check this checkbox at the top, which will check all of the lines below. You can click on the down arrow beside Batch Transactions and click Accept Selected. And QuickBooks will mark all of these bank feed items as matches to existing transactions in QuickBooks. Okay, we're going to go back to the All tab to look around some more at some other actions we could take from this screen. You will notice that we have a transaction here with a gray match, whereas most of these others, the match is in green. So what this gray box around the word match actually means is that there is more than one potential match. Now QuickBooks has accepted one or selected one as a potential match, but it wants us to know that there are more choices, so we might want to look at this one a little more closely. So when we click on the item, in the blue box that opens below, we see that there are 2 possible matches. There's an expense number 76, which is the one QuickBooks has matched this up to for us, but there is also a bill payment number 3 to a different vendor, which could possibly be the match for this. If you want to see the detailed transaction which is in QuickBooks in order to determine which one is the correct match, you can click on the transaction here in the blue box and it will take you to the particular transaction. So this is bill payment number 3, where we had processed a payment to Books by Bessie on August 4th. But anyway, if this were your company file, you should be able to determine which of these 2 are correct. You would choose it and click match, and that transaction will disappear off of your bank feed. So let's new to another transaction. We have transactions here for which QuickBooks did not find a match. Now, some of these may be entered in QuickBooks, and QuickBooks just didn't find the item, or they may not. So you do need to look at these to decide what action needs to be taken. Now, if you feel like the transaction is already in QuickBooks, you can click Find Match. And what QuickBooks will bring up is a list of all transactions which have not been linked to a bank feed item. So like we had a $55 item with Bessie's Books, or Books by Bessie, that QuickBooks said could not find a match for. So let's just look real quick here. You can sort these columns by amount to help you find the transaction you're looking for. Any of these columns are sortable when you click on them. But we do not see a match here, so let's assume this transaction is not in, and we need to add it. So, and actually, I'm sorry, this is a receipt. This is not money spent. So we received $55 from Books by Bessie. Now, I happen to know that Books by Bessie is the bookkeeper for this company file. And Bessie must be refunding some money to this simple company. So we're going to go in and we will credit the bookkeeping expense account for the amount that is being refunded. So we will look here and see if we see, I think it's probably under legal and professional accounting. So we're going to assume maybe we overpaid Bessie and she's sending us a refund back. So we're going to credit this expense account and click Add. So that transaction has now been added to our QuickBooks ledger. So when you click Match on a transaction, it is not adding an item to your ledger. It is only matching the bank feed transaction up to an existing transaction you have already entered into your ledger. When you click Add, you are actually adding an item of expense or cash or whatever this is to your general ledger. So Add really is adding it to your ledger. Let's see, there was one more thing I wanted to cover with you, and that was what to do if you click the Add button and realize right after you click it, so I just clicked it on a rental for an uncategorized expense, and I realized right after I clicked it that I didn't really want to do that. I had not looked at that line item yet. I accidentally clicked on the wrong line. Well, there is an easy way to undo that. If you click on In QuickBooks, it's going to show you a list of all of your bank feed items that have been added to QuickBooks. And that was a rental that we had incorrectly added to QuickBooks. So if we click Undo over here under the Actions, it's going to disappear off of our In QuickBooks tab, and it's going to now appear back in our new transactions, ready for us to take action on. This is just a general overview of what you can do with the bank feed and what the bank feed actually does within QuickBooks, and it is meant as a general guideline to get you started. If we can be of further assistance, please give us a call at Stellar Accounting Solutions at 251-621-1474, or you can visit our YouTube channel for other videos, or visit our website at www.stellaraccountingsolutions.com for more information about our firm. Thank you for watching our video today.